Steven Dykman on your left with Green Black Constrictor. Collins Mullen on your right with White Black Aggro. Collins did play like kind of the mono green deck that you're into last week.
Yeah, I mean, I still think the deck is good. It probably struggles a bit against Blue-White Control, both Settle the Wreckage and Fumigate being problematic. They don't run into Blossoming Defense as much as, like, the old Vraska's Contempt's control decks, basically. Things have started to change.
Concealed Courtyard in a Toolcraft Exemplar is where Collins will start for Steven Dykman. It's a Glint Sleeve Siphoner. Can we get a Chain Whirler up in here?
Yeah, I mean, where is he at? People keep playing these decks that just fold to mono red. I don't get it. Just play mono red. It's great.
Toolcraft Exemplar is going to come in for just
Get
a lowly
that dice
one.
off there.
Just a lowly one.
Yeah, that's kind of a sad Toolcraft Exemplar, but, next turn maybe comes like some big artifact that pumps them,
Well, there are two Toolcraft Exemplars for right now. Keep in mind, White Black Aggro, normally when you see starts like this, you're expecting Mardu vehicles, Heart of Kirin's, Aethersphere Harvesters, things of that nature, and of course Red Mana and License Disintegration. But this is the deck that's been performing very, very well in Magic Online in the standard queues recently.
Yeah, I mean, the deck is certainly powerful. It has really aggressive starts with things like Heart of Kirin, Scrap Heap Scrounger, and Toolcraft Exemplar. But it also has the ability to go a little bit later. Karn Sign of Urza and History of Benalia, both very good cards, especially fighting against, Wrath of God type effects.
Glint Sleeve Siphoner, going to come in here for 2. 2 energy given the Winding Constrictor pre-combat as we head back over to
Collins. We call that in the business?
What's that?
Synergy. Buzzword.
Yeah.
Buzzword.
We're going to head back over to Collins.
Probably the most overrated aspect of Magic is synergy.
Oh, boy.
But I love it.
It's a bold claim.
What? Half the time in Standard, it's just play the biggest, dumbest Mythic Rare you can find. And everyone, like, whenever I would try to build, like, a deck that had a lot of cards that interplayed well together, I would just lose to Baneslayer Angel. Like, lose to Bloodbraid Elf into Blightning.
That's true. That was the Blightning days. I'm glad those are behind us.
Oh.
I did not enjoy those.
Well, Baneslayer's here to stay.
Is that Thopter Arrest?
It is Thopter Arrest.
Beep, beep.
The little-known enchantment that exiles creatures. Does it also exile vehicles?
We'll take a look.
There's something extra on it, I think. It's like a pretty bad Oblivion Ring or whatever, right?
Exile target artifact or creature.
Nice.
There you go.
Nice. Get those dice off of here. You should know better, Steven. You've been here before.
He's been the feature match many times as he plays a Glint Sleeve Siphoner. He's up to 5 energy, a Winding Constrictor. That's going to come in with 2 counters. Excuse me, a Walking Ballista going to come in with 2 counters because of the Winding Constrictor.
Oh, yeah. No, we're definitely on full-on Winding Constrictor taking over mode.
Yes. And that is a card when you play against Green Black Constrictor. It is the namesake card of the deck, of course. You got to kill that thing, or it will kill you along with all of its friends.
So Fatal Push normally a great card against these Constrictor decks because they have a lot of 2-drop creatures that are powerful. The problem comes when you draw a Fatal Push and your opponent has 3 of them that are very good. Because right now it looks like he could probably play History of Benalia and a Fatal Push, but he has to choose between killing a Winding Constrictor or the Glint Sleeve Siphoner. And if Walking Ballista gets to untap, that's also very bad.
Yes, it's all bad right now for Collins Mullen.
Maybe you should play more artifacts, bro. I don't know. At this point, it wouldn't matter because they would shrink down and still die. But, Walking Ballista is traditionally very good against Toolcraft Exemplar decks. They tend to have quite a bit of 1 toughness creatures. Even, like, minusing to put a Karn token into play, like, you can still kill the Karn token if they don't have another artifact on the battlefield.
Like kills Veteran Motorist, if that's in the deck.
Yeah. This version, though, a little bit different. I believe that Toolcraft is the only real big hit since Knight of Malice, which is in the deck, has 2 toughness. Whereas, like some of the White Knight type cards that they've made over time have had 1 toughness.
They've been 2 ones a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
There was a cycle in Cold Snap, I believe, that had 1 toughness.
So Collins is going to play a Gideon and plus it on Walking Ballista.
Yep.
So the Walking Ballista killed 1 of the Toolcraft Exemplars, and now here is Fatal Push to kill Glint Sleeve Siphoner again. So Collins is putting a priority on killing Siphoner and not Winding Constrictor.
All dubs.
Yeah.
Winding Constrictor, Walking Ballista. Went sleeve, wipener. You know. Steven can actually kill the Gideon here. He puts 2 counters on the Ballista. It doesn't deal damage this turn cycle, but on the upkeep, he will be able to use 2 of the counters to kill Gideon right now.
That's exactly what he's going to do.
Yeah.
Winding Constrictor came in for 2, knocked it down to 2. And now Walking Ballista, I got it right that time, finish it off.
Here's an interesting scenario.
Okay.
If near Deadlands versus opposing Winding Constrictor, does it kill it? Let's take a look at Winding Constrictor real fast. I want to get the exact wording on this card. I'm pretty sure it does, but I want to make sure. There it is. Oh, if he's doing it now, it absolutely
then it absolutely
does.
kills it. If 1 or more counters would be placed on an artifact or creature you control.
Nice.
Okay. Okay.
All right, now it's time for Land 5 Verge's Gear Hulk. That would be sweet. Looks like Steven actually has Karn in his deck. Yeah.
Yeah, 4 copies of Karn.
Wow, that's cool.
And actually, no copies of the Gearhawk. I'm a little surprised Verge's Gearhawk isn't better. And then it doesn't
Well, it looks
see
like
much
he's
play.
going a bit bigger than the normal green-black decks, right? Like he has Vraska Relic Seeker, Karn Sign of Urza, you know.
Treasure maps.
Wow, yeah,
3
nice.
of those.
Well, Treasure Map, as we talked about earlier, very good alongside Karn Sign of Urza.
Let's see what we got here.
Foe mana looks like a Karn.
Okay.
Is a Karn.
Second one that we've seen this weekend. He's going to plus it to start. Actually, no, it starts
yeah.
on 5. Never mind, because it should start on 4.
It should. It's colorless.
Yeah, it starts.
Come on, man.
It starts with too much loyalty.
I feel like it should die if you minus it twice. That should just be most Planeswalkers. Either you can't minus it twice in a row, or it dies when you minus it twice in a row. I think that's fair.
Well, this card is pushed.
Yeah. I mean, whenever you have a namesake as classic as Karn, you know, if they brought back, like, Yawgmoth, for example, like, if Yawgmoth was just this card, like, it would be pushed. They would have to push it.
Well, you don't want it to be bad.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, if it's, why make him Hawkeye when you can make him Thor?
Poor guy.
Yeah.
Poor Hawkeye.
Jeremy Renner's doing all right.
Yeah, he's probably doing just fine. Maybe. I don't know his life. He was really, the Bourne movie he was in was really bad. Just saying.
Oh, all the Bourne movies can't be hits.
The Bourne movie he was in was really bad.
I don't know. I like the first Bourne movie. I saw a couple of the other ones. I
think they're all good. Ooh, Karn War.
Yep. You know what? I have this bingo slot that says Karn -1, and it's just never going to happen.
No, it's not.
Just make pack rats. No.
That's what we see most people doing, is making constructs with this card. Collins looks like he wants to attack, but of course, Toolcraft Exemplar's ability, it goes on the stack before attacking. So we might see Winding Constrictor kill the construct. I did it again. We might see Walking Ballista.
There it is.
Kill the construct.
Went leave Wifener.
Warn.
Warn. Wine of Warza.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
But Weavin' Weichman is trying to figure out what he's going to do here. There. There we go.
Yeah, I mean, he has 2 options here. Actually, he has a bevy. But I think his best bet is to either kill the Toolcraft Exemplar or just chump block it with his token. You know, he wants to keep the Walking Ballista around. What? It was
2 artifacts. Walking Ballista. We're going to get there.
Wow.
This match is tough to call right now.
Wow.
Can't say any of the cards right.
I missed it. You're right. New cards, man. They're
We're
tough.
a team. We're a team. We'll get there.
Look, if this, I would be a pro on Magic Online right now because it just tells me what all my power of toughness is.
It's true.
You know?
Is that before or after it crashes?
Before my Sturge Conductor is out of date.
Okay.
Sturge Condat. I need to update my Sturge Con.
That's like the most recent Twitter joke.
Just every 2 minutes, it's just like, it's your turn, but your Sturge Conductor is out of date.
Cards going down.
It's been around 15 years.
It's all right. MTG Arena's coming soon. Don't worry.
It's already out.
It's coming soon.
But you can't play Modern.
They're working on it. And I'm excited for it.
They're never going to let you play Modern on Arena. Mark my words. Never.
Never is that's strong.
Why would you?
That's forever.
Why would you let people play the format that is the most popular?
Here is another Winding Constrictor. Got that right.
Winding one Victor.
And this,
All right, I'll stop.
that's all right. This is a treasure map. All right.
All right, so this token from Karn is currently a 3/3. Pretty good. Whenever you put tokens onto the treasure map, I believe it gets an extra counter. Maybe it's just creatures with Winding Constrictor.
Let's take a look at the snake again.
It's
then.
probably only creatures because you can't. It doesn't double planeswalkers.
Well, it doubles. It doubles like. Okay, hold on. If one or more
Artifact or creature. Nice.
If you would get one or more counters, you get that many of those counters +1.
But it's artifact
or
or
creatures. Okay, got it.
Nice.
Karn's going to plus, which means it could minus, which means you could get a stamp on your bingo board.
Well, not if the Karn dies this turn, which it
That's true.
100% is.
That's true.
Lear Dawnbringer. Sure. Kill it.
Kill it and kill
Move on
you.
with my life. History Banale. This can put up a decent roadblock. Making some 2/2s over the course of the next few turns. The problem here for Collins is 100% that Walking Ballista. And it looks like Steven's choice to keep it around is going to pay off big time.
Knight of Malice. That's what that is.
Yep, anti-white card. It's actually pretty good right now. A lot of people are playing History of Benalia. So, the removal spells from white won't be able to target it because it has hexproof from white, obviously. But it's going to be a 3/2 first strike the majority of the time. This matchup in particular, no white, so whatever.
Karn going to plus, going to give Dykman a swamp.
You know what they didn't give us with Dominaria?
What's that?
Silver counters. Lazy.
Yeah.
So lazy. It's your marquee card. It's Karn.
Is it the marquee card?
It should be.
Or is Teferi the marquee card?
You know what? He came out of retirement for this.
How about that? Maybe Teferi. We've watched Teferi a couple times today. Pretty busted.
Yeah.
Pretty busted. Vraska's Contempt took care of Karn.
The end. And, well, I still got another shot. But I'm pretty sure he's not going to minus the Karn to get a land.
You don't know Steven Dykman. He's got Vraska Relic Seeker in his deck. He might need that 6 mana.
True. True enough.
Another knight here for Collins off of his History of Benalia. It's underneath that Thopter Arrest that was cast earlier in the game to take care of Glensea's Life. Now, again, remember, Collins had the ability to take care of Winding Constrictor multiple times. Now there's only one on the battlefield, but the one earlier. But he elected to take care of Glensea's Siphoners, plural.
Yeah. I mean, that card will just get out of control. If I've learned anything from playing Standard in the last year, it's that if you don't kill Glensleeve Siphoner, you're going to lose.
Yeah.
Especially early in the game.
Knight of Malice is going to go after Karn.
Chomp. It's just a 2/2, right? Why would we not just block with Winding Constrictor?
Well, could block a Winding Constrictor. We could also block with the Construct. That's a 3/3. Let's see what this is.
Take a peek before we decide what to block with.
Yeah, a little scry here with Treasure Map.
Probably smart. Is there a pump spell I'm missing?
Not that I know of.
Maybe he drew a Walking Ballista of his own. That actually could be it.
Okay.
This attack, I mean, I'm sure it'll make sense in a moment. I would not block with the Construct because it can get shrunk if the Walking Ballista dies, and that's a big deal.
Okay.
So I think I would just block with the 2/3 Winding Constrictor and hope for the best.
They look at Knight of Malice again.
I guess +1 if they control white permanent, and Steven does not, right?
Okay, yeah, I just want to make sure. Yeah, as long as
An
any
opponent.
as long as any gets
Any
+1
player?
+0, as long as any player controls a white permanent.
I am stupid.
That's why I wanted to read. I wasn't sure.
You know what? I've had that card in my deck multiple times already, but I never had it in a black-white deck.
Dude, new cards. That's why we have the ability to bring them up on screen and make sure to make ourselves look smart.
But I'm making myself look really stupid.
Here's a cast out. A lot of targets for this thing. Treasure Map, Karn.
Yeah, 2 mana 3/2 first strike makes a lot more sense. I was always like, man, white is kind of popular, but is that good enough to play this card? Nope.
Apparently.
It's just a 3/2 first strike for 2 mana. That's great.
All
That
right,
card's awesome,
Yeah, that card's really good.
especially in this deck.
So now Ballista down, and now here's another Toolcraft Exemplar. And Collins is now empty-handed with a decent battlefield as we head back over to Steven Dykman. The Karn died.
Yes.
So now Dykman's battlefield is Treasure Map with 2 counters. Construct that's a 2/2. Winding Constrictor that's a 2/3. I think Collins has navigated himself into a pretty nice game here, actually.
Oh, for sure. I mean, if you'd asked me like 1 or 2 turns ago, I'd say Steven Dykman's in way far ahead because he has Winding Constrictor, Walk-in Ballista, and a Karn. But that single attack from a 3/2 first striking creature put Steven in a weird spot. If he double blocks, he gets absolutely destroyed by a cast out. If he just chump blocks, you know, maybe that card is not as good, or maybe that the creature is more important than having the Karn in play. Maybe he has a backup Karn in hand or one that he saw on top with the treasure map.
Let's update that scoreboard, shall we? Jody Keith, Turbo Depths, up a game here over Brian DeMars playing lands. You got Todd Stevens, the mayor of Value Town with Green White Company.
Czar
of Value Town, thank you.
Yeah.
He is up a game over Zach Allen, and now
there was no vote. He took it by force.
Collins Mullen has resolved the 3rd chapter on his history of Banala, and he's attacking with all his friends. I do want to check Toolcraft Exemplar really quick, make sure it's not a knight. I don't know why it would be.
No, I believe it's an artificer, human artificer.
I think it's a dwarf.
It is a dwarf artificer.
Ding.
Right. But I got the artificer part right.
You did get that right. I would not have gotten
the
that
least valuable. It actually gets 4 counters before it flips, sir. Sir.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, are you listening to me, sir?
I'm pretty sure he just pointed out. He's like, actually has 4 counters.
All right, so Treasure Map's now Treasure Cove.
Yeah, so this is going to make his construct token a 4/4. 3 treasures enter the battlefield, which should be enough to eat the dwarf artificer.
Should be.
You know. As long as he doesn't randomly sack a treasure token for no reason.
All right, Exemplar down.
And Steven, you know, opting to take 8 damage instead of trading Winding Constrictor for a 2/2 knight that was pumped. Oh, it was a 4/3 anyway. Never mind. Not a 4/2.
Can't forget the little pump on the back end.
Yeah, yeah. Backside doing more work than I actually thought it would.
We're going to go back over to Dykman now, who's got those 3 treasures. Treasure Cove, constructed as a 4/4, which its size will fluctuate here, I imagine, over the course of the next couple of turns, and then the Winding Constrictor.
So Steven really needs a Fatal Push to take care of this Heart of Kiran. Otherwise, it is threatening to do a lot of damage over the next few turns. That treasure map flipped into Treasure Cove could get him there. Could help him find it.
Well, there's another Karn.
Okay, all right. Heart of Kiran does not kill that straight up, so that's good news. I think I would just tick up to make sure that it doesn't die to the Heart of Kiran attack. I think that's more valuable than making like a 4/4 creature.
4/4 is pretty big.
True.
Looks like he's going to tick up, though. Top 2 cards. There's a land and a Vraska. Yeah.
It gets lands most of the time, and then the tick down usually gets the goods.
So we could see Vraska as soon as next turn.
And I'll get my bingo.
What do you got bingo for?
For -1 on the card.
Okay.
The only ability that's -1.
You'll get your bingo square, not actual.
Look, I haven't been calling it.
factual.
Look, I'm enough of a square as it is. Just leave me be.
Collins will draw. And we'll see what he finds. Gotta remember, he's empty-handed, but he can crew his Heart of Kiran as that construct token is a 2/2. Counts itself and heart. And then he can use a knight. But is that the way he wants to actually take his turn is the question. It looks like it might be.
He's still at 14. He can soak a hit next turn if he needs to. He has 1 card in hand, so it might be a way for him to recrew the Heart of Kiran on the swing back. At this point, he's facing down Planeswalker. Ooh, Vraska's Contempt. Nice.
Yep.
Dude, treasures are awesome most of the time.
And now there's Ifnir Deadlands.
I love that interaction so much.
I actually think that's really cool.
It makes me happy. It's like, sure, Winding Constrictor ability, almost all upside, you know, but there's this one corner case where you get blown out. I believe the same works for Soulscar Mage, too. I think Soulscar Mage plus Shock will do the same.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Oh, Bingo, minus, not actual bingo, but bingo square.
M, top corner.
Boom.
You going to stamp it again?
Yes.
Okay.
I prematurely stamped it earlier because I thought it was a Karn -2. And I was like, wow, that's just a free square. But nope. It was much harder. It took like 3 rounds of people playing Karn for it to happen.
Here is Vraska, Relic Seeker.
What up?
Yep. This is going to start to dominate. Get that small die out of here.
Steven, how many times we got to tell you, buddy?
That's right, he's going to kill a Thopter Arrest.
Yeah, he gets another treasure, too, which is important because it lets him, like, keep, going off with Treasure Cove.
That's actually pretty nice.
Unlocking this Glint Sleeve Siphoner, also pretty sweet. Just threatening to draw more cards and push him further and further ahead.
Yeah, and Collins is going to concede the game as
Smart
Dykman
move.
has gotten too far ahead with his Planeswalkers.
20 minutes in, you're that far behind. Scoop them up so you have time to finish the match.
Steven Dykman is going to win game number 1 here over Collins Mullen. Green-Black Constrictor up a game over White-Black Aggro. You see the scoreboard, Jody Keith up a game over Brian DeMars. That's Turbo Depths versus Lands. And Todd Stevens, Green-White Company up a game over Zach Allen playing Jeskai Control. More to come here in this match between these two teams. But first, a few words from our sponsors. We are back. Senator Phillips, Todd Anderson here in the booth. Nick Miller over on the sideboard getting ready to watch game number 2 between Collins Mullen and Steven Dykman. Mullen down the game. So we'll start with him as he'll be on the play here for game number 2 with his 2 Duress, 2 Golden Demise, 2 Fumigate, 2 Angel Sanctions, 2 Doomfall, 2 Fragmentize, 2 Treasure Maps of his own, and a solo copy of Settle the Wreckage. Todd, what do you like here and why?
I'll tell you what I don't like. All 2s in the sideboard.
Hater in the house.
I think Fumigate is traditionally very good against Green-Black Constrictor. However, this version from Steven
Dykman.
Steven Dykman, it's a little more Planeswalker heavy. Karn and Vraska both give him some longevity and some protection from these mass removal spells. I'm not sure if I actually like the Fumigates here. Other than that, Golden Demise is not good enough because it doesn't kill Constrictor. Once they hit a certain point, it won't do anything or much of anything. I don't mind Angel of Sanctions. I can't imagine that, from Colin's side, most Constrictor decks have been shrinking on Vraska's Contempts in favor of Chupacabra. And even if your Angel of Sanctions gets hit with a Chupacabra, it still comes back again.
Okay.
So,
speaking of Steven Dykman, his side, 4 Duress, 2 Arguel's Bloodfast, 2 Nissa Vital Force. And here come the one-ofs in Doomfall, Fatal Push, Multani, Yavimai's Avatar, a Moment of Craving, a Naturalize, a Ravenous Chupacabra, as you mentioned, and another copy of Vraska's Contempt.
So his side, I think most of the removal comes in. You just want more ways to interact with their creatures. Naturalize, also very good because it hits Heart of Kiran. I think that Heart of Kiran starts from Collins are going to be the toughest for Steven to deal with. There's a chance Collins actually boards out Toolcraft Exemplar, though. That's a fairly common strategy in Toolcraft decks whenever you play against Walking Ballista. That is occasionally one of the few cards in your deck that actually dies to Walking Ballista straight up, and making sure that you don't fall victim to that. Instead, you go a little bit bigger, maybe you board in some Planeswalkers, maybe you slow things down a bit.
Well, these players are underway here in game number 2. A couple copies of Concealed Courtyard from Mullen to start. For Dykman, he's got a Swamp. We'll see what his second land is here momentarily.
He better play a 2-drop. That's all I know.
Yeah, neither player up to much right now. Obviously, Colin does have a removal spell in hand in Fatal Push. And that's a pretty good target for the Fatal Push.
Bye.
Let's head back over to Collins.
That's my expert analysis.
Bye. Here is History of Banala. We'll get a 2-2 Vigilant Knights, and we will head back over to Steven Dykman.
No, that's definitely a good turn sequence. Removal spell on 2 into History of Benalia. Definitely a powerful start. It's going to gum up the ground for the green-black Constrictor deck, so it's going to be harder to start attacking through things. I don't know. I mean, I feel like Steven definitely needs to play something here. Using spot removal is not a winning proposition against something like History of Benalia.
Yeah, not really where you want to be to open up the turns of the game. His Winding Constrictor, obviously one of his best cards, namesake card of the deck, got answered.
Yeah. The classic bait your opponent with a Winding Constrictor so that you can resolve Glensleeve Siphoner. Perfect. Although, maybe he's trying to bluff Blossoming Defense. Personally, I would have left up the Ether Hub just to threaten like a Fatal Push or something. But
okay.
Very minor. Not going to bite him. I don't see any 1-mana green spells in this deck, but
nope.
Yeah. Wow, second History of Benalia probably incoming here.
Well, there's a Fatal Push.
He needs another land, and he has it.
This card, very, very, very good in multiples, is History of Benalia.
Oh, for sure. Next turn, threatening to attack for 12. That's a lot of damage coming in. And then next turn, makes another Knight. The turn after that threatens another big boost.
I think that might be the biggest selling point of this card. Now, obviously, this card's really good against red. But the fact that this card is really, really good in multiples, where a lot of
against control, too. 2 threats for 3 mana.
It's true. It's true.
Didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine. It's just it's an interesting it's interesting just how good this card is in multiples, where maybe you wouldn't expect it to be.
For sure.
Let's see what happens now.
I feel like someone packed the kit with not enough 2/2 vigilance.
Somebody's in trouble after this round. Yeah.
We'll
see. We'll see.
It was me. I stole them all last week. Just kidding.
Don't be the token thief.
We were playing mono red.
Don't be the token thief.
We definitely did not.
There we go. There's a couple of Knights.
Gideon Knights. They don't quite have vigilance, but you know.
Oh, Thrashy B here. Thrashing Brontodon.
Yeah, and oddly, Thrashing Brontodon is just not very good against enchantments. Or History of Benalia as an enchantment specifically because it has an enter the battlefield ability. He could have traded the Brontodon, main phase it or whatever to, prevent all the creatures from getting pumped, but then he's still facing down, so much power on the battlefield.
How big is Thrashy B?
3/4.
Doesn't trade with a token?
It did trade. Token died.
Did it?
Maybe not. It should have. Pretty sure.
I think we should have one less token on the battlefield here.
We'll get that figured out. No, unless we just misread History of Benalia again, which there's a...
Yeah.
Okay. There it is.
There we go, yeah.
Get the Gideon token out of here.
I was going to say, History of Benalia and Knight tokens are pretty good. They're not that good.
Yeah. They don't have first strike. They have vigilance.
Yeah.
If it wasn't trading, he 100% would have popped off the Brontodon to kill the other History of Benalia. So.
Yeah.
But Collins here, overwhelming board presence. Black-green doesn't really have a good way to, sweep the board here. This is bad news for Steven for sure.
Yeah, this is like one of the spots where Steven kind of wishes he had Golden Demise, but he does not, so he will concede the game. So Collins Mullen very quickly going to win game number 2 here over Steven Dykman. White-black aggro, just a good stuff deck. Going to tie things up against green-black Constrictor, which means that we will come back. And when we do, we'll update the scoreboard, let you know where all the matches stand, and then watch game number 3. But first, a couple words from our sponsors. Getting ready here for game number 3. I guess Colin just gets to start game 3 with those night tokens on the battlefield. How's that
you
sound?
know. I think we need to track down Kevin Jones and Brenda Candio. I bet one of them snagged some of our night
Were those
tokens.
the thieves?
Perhaps. I don't know. I'm not going to incriminate someone.
Thieves! You hear me.
Okay, that was really loud in my eardrums.
You'll be all right. Let's talk about the StarCityGames.com weekly sale.
Okay.
Let's talk about where you can go to get up to 20% off of select modern singles.
It better be a different graphic from last time.
It's
I'm
not.
assuming it's not.
not.
I'm so tilted. Hallowed Fountain doesn't cast those cards. Get it out.
But Hollow Fountain can be found via Windswept Heath.
That's true.
See, so we're kind of bringing it all together. Windswept Heath, Bloodbraid Elf, Abrupt Decay, Hollow Fountain, just some of the modern singles that you can get up to 20% off of at go.starcitygames.com/weekly sale. This sale will end Monday at 10:59 a.m. We'll have a new sale for you at 11 a.m. East Coast time on Monday. Again, that's go.starcitygames.com/weekly sale.
You know, people have this weird concept of professional players and just assume that none of us own cards for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
I personally own a ton of stuff. I have probably 4 modern decks, most standard decks except for new cards until I pick them up to build my decks. So I actually use the weekly sale a lot, especially for modern staples.
Okay.
Personally.
I own no cards.
See, I'm just shilling so that you give
Am I
me
the
more
bad guy?
money.
Oh, got it.
Give me
Good job.
Give me money, please.
I think we had a fatal push with Revolt cast.
Did we?
I think.
You know, it didn't target a 3 or 4 casting cost creature, so I'm not going to give it to you.
Okay.
Because if it's not relevant, it doesn't count.
All right. I'm going to put the stamp back then.
Look, I have no idea how I'm supposed to get Damping Sphere does nothing. Because if someone plays 2 spells in 1 turn, you know,
all right, I'm going to break the 4th wall. Miller! Damping Sphere does nothing. What does that mean? Oh, wow.
He's letting us interpret our own bingo sheets. So what happens if we have a disagreement, Cedric?
We're going to have to come to agreement somehow.
Well, good luck. Because
you do not.
You're not getting anything.
It does not seem. You do not seem particularly agreeable on this one.
That's just my natural demeanor.
Can we get to that Turbo Depths match so we can have some lands that produce no mana so I can get that stamp?
You know, we could just switch.
Well, these players are about to be underway. I can't give you an update, though, that Zach Allen, Todd Stevens, they're going to game number 3 with Jeskai controlling Green-White Company. And Jody Keith not playing lands. Playing like a lands variant, but not playing lands. I'm a little surprised.
I mean, I actually know quite a few traditional lands players that have stopped playing lands. They don't necessarily switch to Turbo Depths, but they have been switching to other decks because people are more prepared for it. You know, if people have ways to interact with your Life from the Loam, it's significantly harder for your deck to function.
This is a Glint Sleeve Siphoner. This is a card that Collins has killed immediately every time it's shown up.
Didn't have it this time.
Isolated Chapel.
Had it this time.
Yep, there's Walking Ballista.
Womp womp.
Just one of many reasons why Walking Ballista is one of the best cards in Standard.
Well, I'll say one of the many reasons why Glenslee Siphoner is one of the best cards in Standard, because if you don't do that, you lose.
It's hard to win, yeah. Ethersphere Harvester is going to bring Dykman 2 energy.
It's a good little pickup.
Collins is going to play History of Banala again.
Seems like he drew a Gideon for turn. That's Gideon of the Trials. We saw that from Kevin Jones earlier. Looks pretty good.
Card looks pretty good, yeah.
Yeah.
Forest here for Dykman. And now, looks like it's going to be some sort of naturalize effect.
Pretty sure it's just actual naturalize.
Well, that'll work. Now, I'm curious about that kind of card in this format. You know, you're going to see green-black players and players playing green go towards Thrashing Brontodon. It looks like destroying artifacts and enchantments, as we have an enchantment and an artifact in the graveyard and an artifact on the battlefield in Ethersphere Harvester.
Just main deck it.
You throw in Seal Away, Cast Out, all these cards. Naturalize-esque effect seems like they're going to be really good.
Every deck has targets. Like, I main decked multiple Thrashing Brontodon in the mono green deck.
Okay.
Like, it's just a good effect right now. I mean, that kind of just happens sometimes in Standard when you have an artifact theme set. All of the removal in white just about is enchantment based. Mm-hmm. You have a reasonable amount of artifacts like vehicles that are good and see a lot of play.
It just seems like a good place to be. Like if it fits naturally in your deck, maybe you make it happen. Maybe you make it work. Maybe you expand in your deck building and make it work. But it seems like destroying artifacts and enchantments very, very important right now. Yeah. As there's another artifact.
I mean, it's looking kind of embarrassing here because he doesn't have any creatures to crew.
That's true.
But I think it's important to note though, while disenchant effects may be good, disenchanting a History of Benalia is not good.
Okay. Yeah, okay, that's fair. That's fair. They're already getting something anyway.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's just more – it's like playing a spot removal spell on a Thragtusk. Like, sure, you need to deal with it somehow. Wow. Doomfall missed, but it's bad news for Collins that it missed. It's worse news for Stephen that he has nothing.
Yes. Heart of Kieran going to get crewed by the Knight. I think that's another reason the Knight's in the deck.
Yeah.
3 power with a white permanent.
Now that I know that it always crews it if you have another white permanent of your own.
Well, there's Multani off the top. Let's take a look.
Wow. That's a good one.
Pretty sure 6/6?
Each land you control.
And
sure.
each land in your graveyard.
So, okay. Reach and Trample. Reach being a huge thing here for being able to block Heart of Kieran.
Yeah.
A lot of newer players would miss that. A lot of veteran players miss that.
Yeah. Return 1 in a green. Return 2 lands you control to their owner's hand. Return this in your graveyard. Okay, so it's very difficult to kill permanently as well. All right, this is a nice little one of.
It's more interactive than the old Multani Marrow Sorcerer. He was a 6-mana Star equal to, like, hand sizes, I believe.
Yep.
But he also just had Shroud. He just could not be targeted by things.
Sure.
He was a great Reanimator target for a long time against decks with a lot of spot removal.
Yep.
Because he was also just very big. But he was really hard to kill. Now there's a lot of things to exile, so it's not like the ability makes it so that you can never kill it. You just need a specific type of thing to kill it.
Well, here's History of Benalia again. So, another 2/2 Knights.
Whee!
Chapter 1 on the saga as we head back over to Stephen Dykman, who just has a basic forest in hand. That's why you see that face up. He'll draw a card. He'll play this forest to make Multani even bigger, so he's incentivized to play his lands if he can. Now he's tapping 5 mana, 6 mana. What is this, Vraska?
Nope.
Walking Ballista, still pretty good.
He keeps wanting to grab that little, he's close. I'll give it to him.
It's the effort that counts.
Yeah. Walking Ballista could get out of control here, but I believe Collins actually has a Fatal Push. Now, whether or not he wants to burn it on the Walking Ballista is another story. Now, Collins is continually making these 2/2s, so I think getting it off the battlefield is going to be worthwhile.
I'm not sure if he has any good attacks. I guess that's the biggest problem is we have an update here. We got our first match over with. Jody Keith, New Orleans' own, going to win game number 1 and 2.
Jody
over
might be
Brian DeMars.
the best storyteller I have ever met.
Oh, people don't know Jody Keith, man.
Yeah.
People see Jody Keith play Magic. But they don't know Jody Keith. Jody Keith is one of a kind.
He is a large human
with a large personality.
with, yeah. You know, don't steal my thing.
Just did. Pulled it right out from underneath you.
Man, can we get the legacy action so we can get a perfect brainstorm? Oh, neither of them are playing blue.
Value Town has been achieved.
Wow. He took back the crown. Jeskai was getting really close to stealing the crown, but
Todd Stevens is still the mayor
no.
of Value Town. No, sorry.
He took it by force.
Sorry. No voting allowed. So it looks like the team of Keith Stevens and Mullen have won. And we'll see if they want to finish this game out. If they do, we'll stay. If not, we'll try to switch over to another match. As this game is somewhat interesting to see how it would play out.
Oh, for sure. I mean, Collins, I believe. So here's my prediction of what is going to happen. Steven's going to activate an Aethersphere Harvester, move to attack for 3. Before any crews or blocks are declared from Collins' side, he's going to Fatal Push the Ballista. But the plan for Steven would be to attack with the Harvester, hopefully to get through 3 damage and gain 3 life. But it looks like that's not going to happen.
Your prediction did not go right.
You know what? Fine.
Is it fine?
Fine. Steven's empty, but he has a big ol' Multani.
Why does that thing got reach?
Oh, he ticked it up. Did he get a knight? Oh, yes. He asked for a knight. There it is. I'm going to go get on Kevin Jones after this round.
See what those knight tokens are?
Yeah, come on, buddy.
A thief in the night.
You
Kevin
know it
Jones.
was him, too.
Here's If Near Deadlands.
What I don't hate here is actually attacking with the Heart of Kirin. Because you have the Inferior Deadlands. And after combat, you could shrink and kill the Aethersphere Harvester.
I'm confused.
So it deals 4 damage to the 3/5. Then use Inferior Deadlands.
What if he just doesn't? What if he just doesn't block with Harvester?
Then you take 4. You deal 4 damage.
You know Multani has reach, right?
Oh yeah.
You pointed it out when it got cast.
This guy.
You said that.
This guy over here. You can't see me right now, but I'm pointing at myself. This guy.
Okay.
Big doofus.
Yep.
The end. He also doesn't have 2 black mana to activate it, so there's that too. I don't believe. You know, that land next in between the 2 planes kind of looks like a flooded strand to me.
It's an isolated chapel.
Okay. All right. Well, it looks like it only taps for white. I'm going to blame templating for that.
Okay.
Whoever's in the templating department, Wizard of the Coast, you're fired.
Okay.
You're fired.
Everything is someone else's fault right now. This is perfect.
Look, I got to pass the buck.
Yep.
I'm over here looking like a dummy. Just constantly.
All right, Gideon is going to go down to turn Heart of Kirin on, it appears. And because...
History of Benalia Chapter 2. I mean, Steven only has 1 blocker, technically. So looks like he's going to activate the Aethersphere Harvester to gain some life. I'm pretty sure it's still 16. He's only going to go up to 15, so he needs a removal spell right here. Oh, and Gideon's attacking too.
Oh, yeah.
It might actually just be over with.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. He could also... You could activate Deadlands as an instant, right?
Nope.
It's sorcery speed only?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, it'd be too good if you could.
No, mid-combat, after blocks, no, sir.
Yeah. That's
No,
going to do it.
Yeah.
Collins Mullen going to win this match over Steven Dykman 2-1.
We call that one clean sweep.
Get out the broom, because it's over. It's over. Jody Keith, Todd Stevens, Collins Mullen. They are now 4-0. So congratulations.
I'm also going to steal that catchphrase, it's over.
No, I want that one. That's mine.
Oh, no. It's mine now.
Think of your own catchphrase. That's all I'm asking.